all that are in attendance and have given an ear to hear what the Spirit is looking to yield forth. I am Priest Isaiah, joined by my reader to my right, Apprentice Priest Tijan, and to my left, Porter Shamar. Today we'll be going over a topic called salvation, which we all should know about. But this is true salvation. Many have thrown this subject out there and claim to know what salvation is, but hopefully by the end of this class, we'll have a true understanding on what true salvation is. If you could, Apprentice Priest Tijan, get for me Matthew 24, or hold Matthew 24 and verse 1. And Porter Shamar hold 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 1. So what do you have to be considered a saint or somebody that is prepped for salvation? Who is the salvation for? Is it just for Israel only, or is it for all nations? And I know some of our brothers, they may put forth that it is only for Israel, and everybody else is going into slavery and all these other things. And how shall we attain it? How shall we get salvation? Is it just saying, getting on our knees and praying to our Lord Jesus, the Savior? Absolutely not. Like I said, by the end of this class, hopefully we'll all have an in-depth understanding of what true salvation is. Go ahead and get that Matthew 24, verse 1 for me.
And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and the disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily, I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down.
All right, so the Messiah giving insight on the future that was soon to come. And Christ was there to, and which we all should know, and if you don't know, he was there to enact the seventh covenant. Christ was the only one who could enact that seventh covenant. Go ahead and read on.
Verse 3, And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming?
All right, so they asked the question, what shall these things be? When is the sign of thy coming, Christ? When is the temple going to be destroyed? And also to add in there, in the seventh covenant, we become the temple. You and I are now the temple in this seventh covenant. And this is where the worship of the Most High happens. So the disciples asked the question, when is the sign of thy coming? And when is the end of the world? When is this salvation going to be granted unto us, Messiah? And how shall we know when? And what is the sign of thy coming? If you could, get for me 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 1. And let's try to understand exactly what it is when he says that sign of his coming, of the Messiah's coming. Go ahead and read.
Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahushua, and by our gathering together unto you, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letters as from us, as for the day of Yahushua is at hand.
All right, so we have here the day of Christ is at hand. He said, be not shaken in mind or troubled in spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, by anything. He said, the day of Christ is at hand. Go ahead, read on.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
So the same question that the disciples asked, when is the sign of thy coming? When is this end of the world, Christ? He said, let no man deceive you by any means. That sign, that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. What is this falling away first? Get for me Revelations 12, verse 9.
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels was cast out with him.
All right, so this is that cast out. This is that falling away first. He said the great dragon was cast out. Out of where? Out of the courts of the Most High. He is beginning to lose his power. He said, this is a sign of thy coming. When you see this, this is when you shall know. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 10, And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation.
Now is come this salvation. Once you begin to see these signs, that falling away first, when Satan, these sins, these adversaries begin to lose their strength and power, know exactly what the disciples were asking. When is the sign of thy coming, Christ? These are the signs. When sin began to lose his power, he said, now has come salvation. Read on from that point.
And strength, and the kingdom of our Abba, and the power of his Messiah, For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our Abba day and night.
Look at that. The accuser of our brethren. This is what I said, the courts of the Most High. He's beginning to lose his power in the courts of the Most High. He is not falling away. He said he is cast down, which accused each and every one of us day and night. No rest. Taking no rest. I'm accusing you every single day. I don't care if you knew it or not. I'm coming to accuse you. And if I accuse you and you fail to atone for it, I'm going to have rule over you. Go ahead and read on.
Verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
But they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. That Lamb being Christ, the sacrificial Lamb who came to enact that seventh covenant, giving us remission for sin, giving us the way to salvation. Go ahead and read on.
And by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
All right, pause right there. So once again, he knows that he has but a short time. He's beginning to lose his power. And just look at the world around you. Look at everything that's going on. Tumult, just chaos, rioting. Look at the situation in Afghanistan. Brothers and sisters gave their lives for this. And for what? Was it all for naught? Because of some greedy gain that our countries was looking to gain? What was it all for? Look at the world around us. And the adversary understands and know, I got but a short time. I'm going to do what I can in this short time. We got to be the ones that understand and know what is true salvation. How shall I attain it? Let's get back to 2 Thessalonians. Pick it up at the 3rd verse again.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
All right, once again, we just expounding on what that falling away is. The falling away is Satan, these adversaries, sin now losing its power. Sin is now being revealed. We now have a way to atone for our trespasses. This is how you stop sin. Stop sin in its tracks by trespass offering. And if you fail to do it, give up a sin offering. Read on from that point.
And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Abba, or that is worshipped.
So this sin, which shall rule in your chambers, your temple, the temple in which who you are, shall oppose and exalt himself above all that is called Abba. The Most High tell you, don't eat pork. He tell you, it's good to eat. It's real good. Put a little barbecue sauce on it. It's real good to eat. He tell you, don't be a homosexual. He tell you, oh, it's all good. That's the way of the land now. You better wear that with pride, brother. Go ahead and do your thing. Not so. This is that sin, Satan. And once this falling away happens, that power begins to decrease. These are the signs of the times. All right, let's get it back in Matthew 24. Pick it up at the 3rd verse.
Matthew 24, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
Once again, what are the signs? What is that falling away? What is sin being revealed? We just expounded on it. We should all know now. It is that falling away of these adversaries, these Satans, having not the power that they once had. Just think about back in the day. Everybody was just engaged in Christmas, Thanksgiving, all these different days, everything being snatched away from us. But when that begins to decrease, you shall see it in the world. You should see these signs. And this establishing of the seventh covenant and the worship in the seventh covenant is that sign. Let's read on.
Verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
He said, take heed. Let no man deceive you. He's making sure of a certain point. Be not deceived. And many of us may feel like, I'll come into the seventh covenant. I'm giving sin offering. I'm giving trespass offering. It's no way the adversary can deceive me. I'm more nimble. I'm more quick to him. The Most High is giving me the strength and power. Not so. He's telling you, take heed and be not deceived. And Most High willing, we'll bring it out later on in this class, just how deceptive this Satan, this adversaries truly are. Go ahead and read on.
Verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah.
So many shall come and say, come with me, brother. I have the way to salvation. I know the ways to salvation. Read on.
I am the Messiah, and shall deceive many.
And shall deceive many. This is why he's telling us, take heed of this. Listen good. Hear me good. Don't think that you too high above this to where you can't listen to me. He said, take heed to it. It shall be many that's going to come in my name telling you, I am the way. I have salvation. I know the way. Matter of fact, let's get this in 1 John 4:1.
Beloved, be you not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they be of Abba, because many false prophets are going out into the world.
Go ahead and read that one more time.
Beloved, be you not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they be of Abba.
All right, it says, beloved, believe not every spirit. Believe not every spirit. Remember, he's saying there shall be many that will come in my name, telling you, I got the way. I got the way to salvation. Come on with me. And it said he shall deceive many. So I'm going to go through a couple of stats. I'm not going to say any names, but look at the Lakewood Church based in Houston, Texas. I'm not going to say the name of the person. It's said to have the largest congregation, right? 50,000 members according to the Christian Post. You can go look it up yourself. And look at World Changers Church. Over 30,000 members. 30,000 members. And then not only that, just look up Christianity just in general, Christian or Protestant, just in the United States. Said it's nearly 350 million Americans consider themselves to be Christian. Why am I going through this? I'm saying it to say a thing, believe not every spirit. And I'm telling it to you, if you're a part of that congregation, believe not every spirit. But do what? Read that again.
Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit, whether it be of Abba.
It says, try the spirit, whether they be of Abba. Try it. So you go into these Christian churches, go into these Hebrew camps. Hey, brother, we'll be baptized at. We baptizing? And brother, most likely it's going to be what? Baptized? What are you talking about? Go to a Christian church, ask them, brother, are we anointing up here? Where's the anointing at? Where's the unleavened cakes at? Where's the wine at? If they cannot answer, have no answer for you, they have not salvation. These are these false prophets who are telling you, come in as I am Christ. Come with me. I have the answers to everything that you need. Just send me that little bit of money and I'll give you a prayer package. That's it. That's all they have to offer. Try the spirit by the spirit. Let's read on.
Because many false prophets are going out into the world.
Many are going out into the world. I've only went through just Christian and Protestant just in the United States. Just imagine, all over the world, there's many different religions, Muslims, Islam, all these different religions. If you have not the way to true salvation, you got to try that spirit. This is your soul salvation at stake. Let's go ahead and read on. Matter of fact, skip to 1 John, the 2nd chapter, in the 1st verse.
My little children, these things I write unto you, that ye sin not. And if any man sin, we have an advocate with the Father, Yahushua Christ, the righteous.
All right, so as we already went through, we know what sin is now. And we know these are the signs of the times once that sin begins to decrease in power. He's saying, I ask you, I tell you, I write a thing unto you, that you sin not. You know, the world may tell you, as I just went through, Christians may tell you that. We sin every day, brother. We hear it all the time. We sin every single day. But right here in John is telling you, I'm telling you, sin not. You can boldly say, I sin not, brother. I may trespass every day, but I sin not, brother. They told me to sin not. It's a thing that I must do. And he said, we have an advocate. If you do sin for whatever reason, we have an advocate with the Father, Yahushua Christ, who came to enact that 7th covenant. Read on.
Verse 2. And he is the propitiation
He
for
is
our...
the propitiation. What is propitiation? The etymology of propitiation is atonement or expiation. So he's saying he is the propitiation for our sins. He is the atonement. He is the expiation to get rid of sin. He is the reason for the falling away. These are the signs of true salvation. Let not any man deceive you out of it. If he's telling you, brother, you're supposed to get on your knees and pray. Believe it not. Try that spirit by the spirit. Go into that congregation. Listen to the words that I'm saying. Ask about the baptism. They have not? Brother, y'all off. Y'all got anointing? Y'all got unleavened cakes? What y'all doing up here? Honestly, you're not doing a damn thing. It's no salvation in here. Try the Spirit by the Spirit. Read verse 2 again.
And he is a propitiation for our sins, and not for ours only, but also of the sinners of the whole world.
But also for the sins of the whole entire planet. Not just Israel, for the whole entire planet. Salvation belongs to all that come and believe wholeheartedly to come into this seventh covenant. Come and worship and serve the Most High. Salvation is for you. This is true salvation. But you must do a thing first. He said, sin not, and if you do, we have an advocate. We got a way to atone for it. We got a way to expiate that spirit of sin. Read verse 3.
And hereby we know that we know him if we keep his commandments.
This is how you shall know him. This is how you try the Spirit. This is how you begin to try the Spirit. Examine yourself. It says, and hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. If we keep laws, statutes, and commandments. What is the law? The law is sacrificing under the seventh covenant, spiritually sacrificing. He said, if we do this, this is how we shall know that we know the Most High. This is true salvation. This is keeping covenant, walking seven pillars, worship and oblating daily, coming to the high holy days. Matter of fact, knowing and understanding the high holy days. There's many different calendars out here that may tell you, they may be right on point. They right there with it. But it's like 10 or 12 days off. The Most High is telling you, I'm going to grant my Holy Spirit unto you. Remember, thus saith the scriptures, wisdom shall not dwell in a body that is subject unto sin. So when you get rid of that sin, it's, I'm going to reveal everything to you. I'm going to show you the proper day, the proper time, and to when to come and to worship and serve the Most High. I'm going to give you everything that you need. And this is leading to salvation. Read on.
Verse 4. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
Look at that. This is how you try the Spirit by the Spirit. You can examine a man or woman. Are they keeping law, statute, commandment? As I said before, ask a brother or sister. If you know about this seventh covenant, you believe in it, ask it. Brother, you giving up sacrifices? If not, surely salvation is not with you. And you are a liar, and the truth is not in you. And I can boldly say it. Brother, change your ways. I'm not saying it to discourage you or to discredit you, but I'm telling you, you're off. You're wrong. Your soul and salvation is at stake, brother or sister. Let's read on.
But whosoever keepeth his words, in him verily is the love of Abba perfected.
It says, but whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of our Abba perfected. Keeping the commandments. Worshiping, keeping seventh covenant. Let's read on.
Hereby know we that we are in him.
Read verse 6.
He that saith he abideth in him ought himself also so to walk, even as he have walked.
Okay, so he that abideth in him, he that knows seventh covenant, he that knows seven pillars, he that knows to come and worship daily. He said, you shall walk this way. Don't just let it be talk. Don't just let it be for a good appearance. Walk this walk. Do it when nobody is looking. Do it when nobody can see it. That's called integrity. Let's read on.
Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you, but an old commandment which ye have had from the beginning.
He said, I write no new thing unto you. You know, many will say that, no, all that stuff is done away with. We ain't got to do that no more, brother. But the scripture's coming and saying contrary to that. He said, brethren, I write no new commandment unto you. There's nothing new under the sun. Yeah, I came and changed a few things. I came and changed the law because the priesthood changed. But I write no new thing unto you, but an old commandment which he had from the beginning. These are the ways to salvation. Read on from that point.
Again, a new commandment I write unto you, which things is true in him and in you, because the darkness is past.
Read verse 7 again.
Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you, but an old commandment which ye have had from the beginning. The old commandment is the word which ye have heard from the beginning.
All right, so once again, reiterating the point, it's no new thing under the sun. The Most High said, I come not to change this thing, and I'm coming to give you salvation. All you got to do is be a person that hears what I'm trying to tell you. It's no new thing. I may have changed a few things, but it's the same exact thing. All right, let's get back to 1 John 4 and pick it up at the second verse.
Hereby know ye the spirit of Abba. Every spirit that confesseth that Yahushua is come in the flesh is of Abba.
All right, once again, we see the ways to try the Spirit by the Spirit. And it says, Hereby know ye the spirit of Abba. We already know how you shall know it. You shall know it by keeping law, statute, commandment, keeping your covenant, walking these 7 pillars, always operating in it, not just letting it be a good word or I'm up here and I'm grandstanding and I'm looking like I keep covenant. He said, walk it as well. He said, hereby ye know the spirit of Abba, every spirit that confesseth Yahushua Christ. All right, let's read on. Verse 3.
And every spirit that confesseth not that Yahushua is come, and the flesh is not of Abba. And this is that spirit of Antichrist. Wherefore ye have heard it, that it should come, and even now already is in the world.
All right, so and every spirit that confesseth that Yahushua has come to consecrate that covenant was that sacrificial lamb that caused the falling away first, that caused sin to decrease in power. Everyone that confesses it and understand it and know it and hear it and do it and enact it and walk that walk, he said, you are my child. You are my son and you are my daughter. But those who do not are the very Antichrist that walk every single day amongst us. He said, this is the spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that should come, and it's already in the world. It's not this man that's going to come. It's going to be having this appealing look and deceiving people. It's already right here this day. Anybody that's pulling you away from 7 covenant, walking 7 pillars, out of your Christ-like character is your Antichrist. It can be your cousin, your mother, your daughter, whoever. Anybody that's pulling you away from your Christ-like nature is your Antichrist. Let's go ahead and read on.
Verse 4. Ye are of Abba, ye little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world.
All right, so ye are of Abba. You have a divine purpose. You're not just in the world, just living your best life. You have a divine purpose. He said, ye are of Abba, ye little children, and have overcome them. Because of what? Because greater is he that is in you than that old serpent, that devil, that old leaven that was up in you. That was just causing you to do all kind of wickedness. Never could attain that great level. But greater are you because of who is in you when you believe in Yahushua the Christ, the Messiah. Let's go ahead and read on.
Verse 5. They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. We are of Abba. He that knoweth Abba heareth us. He that is not of Abba heareth not us.
Read verse 5 again.
They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them.
All right, so they are of the world. That do not believe in 7 covenant, do not believe in sacrificing, giving the Most High what's due unto him. These are the ones, they speak of the world, the things that are of the world. And we know it. We see it as I brought out some of the facts. These Christian folks, they speak these things, and it's all about love, and that just gravitates people to it, or they gravitate to it. And they hear not 7 covenant, walk 7 pillars. They hear not these things. Let's read on.
6. We are of Abba. He that knoweth Abba heareth us. He that is not of Abba heareth not us.
All right, so we are of Abba. He that knoweth Abba heareth us. And he that is not of Abba heareth us not. So it's letting you know straight off the rip. The people that's going to hear this, they're going to hear it. They're going to understand it. It's going to be like a thing that's just intuitively in you. You've been just knowing it since you were a child. You can just look at the world around you. Since you were just a young child, knowing that, man, something ain't right about this. Something is not right about this. I've been going to this church for so many years. It's just something not right about it. And you're looking for that furtherance. You're looking for that truth. You're looking for true salvation. All right, if you could hold for me Galatians 6:1. And let's get back to that Matthew 24. Pick it up at the 5th verse.
Verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and shall deceive many.
All right, once again, reiterating the point. Many shall come claiming to have this salvation. But what do we go through? We understand and know the signs. We know the falling away. We know many shall deceive. And we know how they should deceive. And we know what we shall do. We shall try the Spirit by the Spirit. Let's go ahead and read on.
Verse 6. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
All right, so the end is not yet, but you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. But he's saying, be not troubled. Be not troubled, brethren. But just look at the world around us. Just a few months ago, you had all this conflict over in Israel. They just shooting off rockets at each other. Look at the situation that's going on in Afghanistan. As I said before, men and women have hazarded or even given their lives. And for what? What was it all for? What purpose was it? These are telling signs that the people are beginning to lose faith in this American system. They are beginning to lose their faith in this government. This power is now coming down. But you got to be the one to hear it and see it and know that these are the signs of what Christ was saying. These are the signs of his coming. This is the end of the world. But he said, be not troubled, for these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. But just be vigilant. Be watchful. Be in the watches. As a matter of fact, I want to speculate, which is on one point. Just looking at this, there was a time when America was on this high level, when they would have just went in and said, Taliban who? We'll crush you. We're going to get them out whenever we can. The Taliban giving America until August 31st to go ahead and get up out of there or something's going to happen. The old America would have been saying, you know what? We're going to be out in a month from then. And if you do anything to any of our American soldiers, we're going to smash you. We'll drop something heavy on you. But look at the powers that be. It's beginning to become weak. Look how weak it's becoming. And like I said, I'm speculating. You think other countries are not looking at this? You think they're not looking and saying, man, America's it used to be this big bully on the block, but man, what's going on now? He ain't operating the same way that he used to. And all you have to do is open your eyes and look, and you can see it. Let's read on verse 7.
Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
All right, so all of these things shall be going on. I won't go through all of them. And as Priest Kabaria brought out a couple weeks ago, he listed all of them. Look at the earthquakes and all of these things happening. Open your eyes. Hear what the Spirit is trying to tell you. It's trying to give you true salvation. We are literally at the cusp of entering into greatness. But it is only for those that can hear. Go ahead and read on.
Verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall be many offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
All right, so they shall deliver the disciples up to be afflicted and shall kill them. And at the same point, it shall be like us. Are we the Most High's disciples? Are we the disciplined ones? These same things we may have to suffer. And it says, and then shall many be offended and shall betray one another. It is because sin is going to come into the world, because they are deceived out of it, not trying the spirits by the spirits. Let's go ahead and read on.
Verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many.
All right, once again, they keep reiterating the same point. Remember, he said from the beginning, take heed that you be not deceived. And the whole reason is, many false prophets shall rise and deceive many. Let's read on.
Verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
And this is the catalyst to it all, because iniquity shall abound. What is iniquity? It is synonymous with sin. It is the same thing. They go hand in hand. Because iniquity shall abound, the love, the keeping of commandment shall wax very cold, shall wax extremely cold. Go ahead and read on.
Verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
He that shall endure unto the end shall be saved. Look at the world around you. It says, when iniquity shall increase, when sin shall proliferate, the love of many shall wax cold. But you that hear what the Most High was looking to put forth, you that hear that Spirit, you that walk those 7 pillars every single day, even when you're getting weary in it, when you're like, man, Abba, are we doing this for naught? Are we doing this all for naught? Remember what David said in Psalm 73. He said, man, I'm envying the wicked. Everywhere he said, I wake up every single morning, I'm baptizing. Am I doing it all just for naught, Abba? And then I'm looking at the wicked, these wicked vessels, they doing all stuff that I don't even want to speak to you, Abba, but they doing all these things. And they're advancing in the world. They got riches and money and wealth. They got all these things, Abba. Am I just doing it for naught? He said, I couldn't even bear to even think this. I couldn't bear it for that thing to just keep staying in my chamber of imagery. And the Most High gave him a precious gift. He showed him their latter end. He said, look at this, son. Let me take you on a walk real quick. Let me show you their latter end. Yeah, they're doing all right in the world. They're doing their thing. But look at their end. He said he went to the sanctuary and seen the destruction of the wicked. And how elated was he, knowing that, man, I'm not doing this all for naught. So we cannot be those that do it all for naught. We got to understand and know it's all for a purpose. We are looking for that salvation. All right, let's get the first book of Adam and Eve, chapter 55, and we'll start at the first verse. And I want to bring this point out because I've talked to many brothers and sisters. I've heard their stories. I've seen how they may have came into this walk, and they believe wholeheartedly in their mind that I'm slaying demons. Oh, I'm doing my thing. Not a part of the priesthood. Maybe an apprentice priest. And I'm not saying it to land bash you or discredit you or make you feel some kind of way. I'm saying this, and I want to bring this point out so we all understand. The Most High is telling us, take heed for a reason. Take heed for a reason. You're not slaying demons and you're going to discredit Satan, who's been around for thousands of years, who knows every move, who has studied and done all these different things. Are you slaying him? You doing these different things? You can't be deceived. Think not highly of yourself, brother or sister. Humble yourself down. Walk in humility. Let's go ahead and get that, though.
Adam and Eve, chapter 55, verse 1. Then came the word of Abba to Adam and Eve, and raised them from their dead state, saying unto them, why came ye up here hither? Do ye intend to go into the garden from which I brought you out?
All right, so from this point, Adam and Eve were expelled from the Garden of Eden. We all should know, because the serpent came and beguiled Eve, and she also gave unto her husband Adam. And when they did this thing, the Most High remanded them to the earth to dwell in these fleshly bodies. So we're now at a point where they was like, yo, this is not living. This is death right here. These physical bodies, what? Do you know what I was into before I came here? And they understood and knew at this very moment. They had all the faith in the world that this ain't it. This is not living right here. So they tried to go back into the garden. And because this angel was standing there, mighty and fierce, passed out dead. So the Most High brought him back and said, yo, why did you come up here? Didn't I tell you were on punishment? I thought I gave you 7,000 years. Why did you try to come back up here? Let's read on.
It cannot be today, but only when the covenant I have made with you is fulfilled.
All right, so when that covenant of that 7,000 years is fulfilled, then will I now allow you to come up hither. Let's read on, verse 2.
Verse 2. Then Adam, when he heard the word of Abba and the fluttering of the angels, whom he did not see, but only heard the sound of them with his ears, he and Eve wept and said to the angels.
Look at that. Then Adam and Eve heard the word of the Most High, the fluttering of the angels. Just imagine that. Just knowing that, man, I was just there. I just had my spiritual body. I was just there dwelling with him. And now I can't even see him. I can hear him. Man, do I want to go back up there. And they cried out. Go ahead and read on, verse 3.
Verse 3. O spirits who wait upon Abba, look upon me and upon my being, unable to see you.
Look at him. He's recognizing that, man, I used to have that spiritual body. I used to be dwelling amongst you, but now I can't. I can't even see you, but I hear you, though, and it sounds magnificent. I wish I was back there with you. Read on.
For when I was in my former bright nature, then I could see you. I sang praises as you do, and my heart was far above you.
All right, he said, I had a bright nature. Then I could see you. I had eyes that I could see you. I was in my spiritual body. I was dwelling amongst you, and I sang praises to the Most High. Let's read on.
Verse 4. But now that I have transgressed, that bright nature is gone from me, and I'll come into this miserable state. And now am I come to this, that I cannot see you, and you do not serve me as you were once? For I have become animal flesh.
Look at that. But now since I have transgressed, I was deceived by that serpent, Me and Eve were deceived by this serpent. I have lost my bright nature. I'm in this miserable state now. This ain't living. This physical body is not living. He says, and now I have come to this, that I cannot see you, and you do not serve me anymore. I used to be able to speak a thing, and it would just happen because you served me, because the Most High made it that way. I no longer have it. I'm in this miserable state. I got to work from the sweat of my back. My back is hurting, my knees, his feet. This is a miserable thing that I'm enduring. And I used to be right there with you. Let's read on.
Verse 5. Yet now, O angels of Abba, ask Abba with me to restore me to that wherein I was formerly.
He's saying, y'all still dwelling up there with him? Please, man, man, please talk to Abba for me. Please, just, to tell him I'm going to be good this time. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be real good this time. Please just talk to him for me. Please, angels, talk to him. I can't stand to be here anymore. I cannot bear it. What happened?
To rescue me from this misery and to remove from me this sentence of death he passed upon me for having trespassed against him. Then, when the angels heard these words, they all grieved over him and cursed Satan who had beguiled Adam until it came from the garden to misery, from life to death, from peace to trouble, and from gladness to a strange land.
So they had compassion on Adam. Look down at him. Adam, we already know, man. We already know. And we're going to tell you a thing. And matter of fact, before we do that, we're going to curse that Satan. We understand what you went through. We don't know what you're going through right now. And brother, we ain't with you with that. We ain't coming down to that physical body. But we understand, Adam. Let's read on.
Verse 7. Then the angel said unto Adam, Thou didst hearken to Satan, and didst forsake the word of Abba, who created thee.
Look what the angel said. Adam, you obeyed Satan. Then the Most High tell you. He said, do not eat of that tree of good and evil. But you ate of it anyway, Adam. You and Eve ate of it. Man, I want to be with you, man. I really do. But you obeyed Satan. Let's read on.
And thou didst believe that Satan will fulfill all he had promised thee.
And you believed everything that he told. He told you what? And you believed that? You believed that he was more powerful than the Most High creator of all? You believed it? Trust me, Adam, we sympathize with you. We're going to tell you a thing. Let's read on.
Verse 8. But now, O Adam, we will make known to thee what came upon us through him before his fall from heaven.
Look at that. So now, Adam, we're going to tell you a thing. That's why we sympathizing with you. I have compassion on you, Adam. I understand exactly what you went through. I hate that you chose the latter instead of the first, instead of obeying the Most High. He said, we went through the same thing, Adam. He came to us as well. He came to us speaking these great swelling words, making these promises. But what happened? Let's read on.
Verse 9. He gathered together his hosts and deceived them, promising them to give them a great kingdom, a divine nature, and other promises he made them.
All right, so that Satan, that serpent, that devil came trying to deceive all. And these were angels that we're talking about. These were angels with spiritual bodies dwelling in heavenly places. Not physical man, weak to everything. We're talking about angels. Were deceived. He said, deceived them, gave them all kind of promises. Yo, I'm going to hook you up with this. I'm telling you, it's going to be laid out, man. I'm going to give you all this. All you got to do is just come with me. Let's read on.
Verse 10. His hosts believed that his word was true, so they yielded to him and renounced the glory of Abba.
Look at that. We're talking about angels. His hosts believed the words were true. They were just like, man, that sounds good. Surely that has to be true, man. I'm pretty sure he can do it. Look at him. He's magnificent. He's in his angelic state. I'm sure he can do that. Let's read on.
Verse 11. He then sent for us, according to the orders in which we were, to come under his command as a hearken to his vain promise.
All right, so now he like, all right, y'all with it? Y'all with it? All right, let's get them over there now. Let's start with Michael, the great angel. Let's go with them over there. Let's go with Uriel. Let's go with all these great ones now. Since y'all with it, y'all see the greatness in it, right? Y'all see the promises. Let's try to get them too. Let's read on.
But we would not, and we took not his advice, Verse 12. Then after he had fought with Abba and had dealt forwardly with him, he gathered together his hosts and made war with us. And if it had not been for Abba's strength that was with us, we could not have prevailed against him to hurl him from heaven.
Look at that. He said, then after he fought with Abba, he looking like, damn, I got them, but I just can't get them. So he said, you know what? We just got to go to war now. We got to fight this thing out. And it said, had it not been for the strength of our Abba, even the angel said, it's no way we would have prevailed against them. So I'm bringing these points out to show, brothers and sisters, humble yourself down. Take a seat. Learn the ways of the Most High first. Understand and learn to be humble. You ain't slaying nothing. Slaying a damn thing. Understand and know this until you properly learn to slay demons. And even then, you're going to understand and know how hard this walk is. And you're going to walk with humility. Even you may be slaying thousands upon thousands, but you're still going to walk with humility when you're in this walk. And understand it is the Most High that giveth that strength. These were angels that were deceived. Let's read on.
Verse 13. But when he fell from among us, there was great joy in heaven because of his going down from us. For he had continued in heaven. Nothing, not even one angel would have remained in it.
Look at that. That's power. Power, a great point of humility. He said, but when he fell from among us, there was great joy in heaven because we understood and knew how deceptive he was. He said, for if he had remained in heaven, he said, no, not nothing, not one of us. Ne'er one of us. Yes, even me, not one of us would have remained in heaven. Each and every last one of us would have been deceived. That's all it would have took was a little bit of time, a little more time, and he would have deceived each and every last one of us. Let's go ahead and read on.
Verse 14. But Abba in his mercy drove him from among us to this dark earth, for he had become darkness itself and a worker of unrighteousness.
All right, so, but Abba in his mercy said, you know what? This is a stain in heaven right now. This is a cancer. We got to get rid of him. And he did just that. He said he had to remove him because he was dark. He became that darkness and a worker of unrighteousness. And I won't go into it, but this is that Genesis 3. This is what Genesis 3 was talking. Matter of fact, read the 15th verse.
Verse 15. And he has continued, O Adam, to make war against thee, until he beguiled thee and made thee come out of the garden to this strange land where all these trials have come to thee.
All right, so look at this. The angels just gave their story, telling Adam, Adam, we sympathize with you. We got compassion on you. I'm telling you, Adam, he would have deceived each and every last one of us had the Most High not came through with that strength. It wasn't because of us. It's because the Most High gave us the strength to do it. And he said, and after he did that, he seen. He said, we examined it. We watched. We were watching you, Adam. We seen you. We seen Eve get deceived. And we seen that she came to you and you were deceived by it as well. He said it made war against you, Adam. Made war against you and because your beguilement, because you were beguiled, you got sent to this strange land and this strange body. He said, where all these trials are now coming upon you. You now having to endure the heat of the sun. You now got to work for your fruit. You now got to work for all these things when you were once dwelling in heavenly places, when things was just given unto you. He said the angels were at your command. You spoke it and we done it. But you were beguiled, Adam. This is that Genesis 3. This was the curse that was given to Adam, Eve, and the serpent. He said there shall always be enmity between your seed and thy seed, Eve. Meaning the Satan shall always be looking to dwell in you and in me. But we have to be those vessels hearing the words of the Most High, walking with wisdom at all and each and every day, at all times, at every avenue, at every turn. And I said I wanted to bring this point out to make sure brothers and sisters understand and know it don't matter what position you get in this seventh covenant. You can become chief priest. You can be on that gold level. It don't matter what rank you are. Even the angels were deceived from these adversaries. Even the angels. Just think about that. Dwelling in heavenly places. Deceived by the adversary. That's how I read on.
And death, which Abba brought upon him, he has also brought unto thee, O Adam, because thou didst obey him, and didst transgress against Abba. Verse 16. Then all the angels rejoiced and praised Abba, and asked him not to destroy Adam this time. for his having sought to enter the garden, but to bear with him until the fulfillment of the promise, and to help him in this world until he was free from Satan's hand.
So they looked at him, once again had compassion on Adam and said, Abba, please give him strength. Give him that same strength that you have given us. For we already know, Abba, that thing was no joke. I was on the verge of converting over with that Satan. We was on the verge of it. But you gave us strength, Abba. We ask that you grant strength unto Adam. Get for me that, hold for me, Galatians 6, verse 1. So they had compassion upon Adam, and they knew, for it is easy to be deceived. And as we already been going through, be not deceived. Take heed. Understand, don't be tricked out of your salvation. Let's read that Galatians 6 and 1 when you got it.
Brethren, if any man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted.
All right, so reiterating the same points, saying, brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, if he trespass, ye which are spiritual, that understand seventh covenant, he said, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness. You walk with humility. You understand and let that brother know, brother, your salvation is at stake, brother. You keep trespassing, then you're never atoning for it. You keep letting sin come into you, brother. You keep letting it rule over you. You got madness going on with you, brother, sister. Change your ways. And it says, consider thyself, because you could be that very person that's going through the same thing with that person. Well, what that person is going through a month from now. So he's saying, consider thyself. Walk with thy brother. Tell him, let him know. Let's go ahead and read on.
Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Yahushua.
He says, bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the sacrifices that Christ came and consecrated within the seventh covenant. Go ahead and read on.
For if a man think himself to be something, which he is nothing, he deceiveth himself.
So it's saying, for if a man think himself to be something, you think that you operating on this high level, and you may very well be, but understand and know it is because the Most High has given it to you. Understand and know that you couldn't have done it without him. You had not the strength of the Most High. He said, don't think of yourself highly than what they ought to. Go ahead and read on.
But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, and not in others.
Read that again.
But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, and not in another.
Read on.
For every man shall bear his own burden.
All right, so every man shall bear his own burden, meaning his own duty. Whether you call to be a priest, porter, holy singer, congregant member, every man or woman shall bear their duty. What is your gift? Remember, there are many gifts that are given out. You got to be the one that takes hold of your gift. Take hold of it. It may be in a small state. When it's in that small state, recognize it and know, if I do good with this small, the Most High shall bless me with great. So each and every one of us have to be those carrying our own burdens, making sure we're fulfilling this covenant. Let's read on.
Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things.
All right, so let sent men teach and communicate the good word. Everything that we're going through now, true salvation. Understanding the signs of the times. Understanding that it's seven covenant to the death. It's walking these seven pillars. Worship and sacrificing, coming in the high holy days as commanded. Go ahead and read on.
Be not deceived. Abba is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Once again, reiterating the same points, letting us know, be not deceived out of it. Be not deceived out of it, for that Satan is deceptive. He shall come in many different forms. He's telling us, keep reiterating the same point. Don't be deceived out of your salvation. He says, for he that soweth to his, matter of fact, read that verse 7 again.
Be not deceived. Abba is not mocked. For whosoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
All right, so for whatsoever a man or woman soweth, whatever you sowing out there, that shall ye also reap. So if you're sowing out this false salvation, you're preaching this false word, sacrifice is done away with, this is done away with, and as I mentioned earlier, There's thousands, millions upon millions that are following after these people that are teaching falsely, teaching false salvation. Brother, this is the way. Planting these seeds. He said, you shall reap all of that. Every seed that you've thrown out and somebody has took it, take hold of it, you shall reap that. That shall be what you reap. Let's go ahead and read on.
For he that soweth to the flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption.
So he that's thinking, I'm going to get this salvation through carnal means, this is exactly what you're going to get. And it's going to be corruption. It's going to be corruption. The Most High said, you can actually worship and serve him falsely. He said, I'm looking for the worshiper who shall worship me in spirit and in truth. I'm not looking for you to do it the wrong way by carnal means. And remember what we went through. He said, in these high places, spiritual wickedness in high places, these are the things that we combat against. He said, but if you're sowing against flesh by fleshly means, fleshly you shall reap. We'll read on from that point.
But he that soweth of the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting.
But he that soweth of the Spirit shall reap what the Spirit, that life everlasting, that true salvation, everlasting life with the Most High in those heavenly places. Remember Adam was saying, I'm hearing the angels. I'm just hearing the fluttering. I know it's great up there. I know what I came from. Adam actually experienced it. So he's telling us, when you reap what I have given you, the seventh covenant, which is now spiritual, you shall reap everlasting life. You shall reap salvation. Let's read on.
And let us not be weary in doing and well doing.
Once again, I'll reiterate that same point. What David spoke, what many of the prophets spoke, they said they loved not their lives unto the death because they understood and knew. It says with much wisdom is much misery and sorrow, because I know all of these things. I know the world is wicked. I know everything around me is wicked, and it's hard for me to bear at times. But he says, be weary and not in your well-doing. Understand and know what you shall reap later on. Let's read.
For in doing so, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not.
So remember the parable with the woman and the unjust judge. It says she came to him day and night looking for that salvation, looking to be saved out of her situation. Came day and night, leaving sticky notes on his car just every single day. He like, yo, give this woman what she want, because she is plaguing me every single day. We got to be like that with the Most High. Most High, remember you said at the 7,000 years, you're going to let us back up there, remember? He like, all right, calm down, son, calm down. It's not up yet. And matter of fact, I'm going to give you, I'm going to make it early for you. I'm going to make it early for you. I love the way you're sacrificing unto me. I'm going to cut those days short. But you got to wait. You got to wait until that time is fulfilled. Let's read on.
As we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith.
All right, so as we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially those who are operating in the seventh covenant, who are exercised in the faith. All right, so these are the components that we need to true salvation. We got to understand the signs of the times. We got to understand that we got to take heed and not be deceived out of our salvation. Don't be deceived out of it. Understand and know exactly what it is. And remember, the scripture says, try the spirit by the spirit, that ye may know if it is of Abba. So these are some of the components. So we'll go into the next step. We'll go and transition to another point, which is faith. He said, especially unto them who are of the household of faith. How do you get faith? What is faith? Is faith just blindly believing a thing? If I say I believe in the Most High, I'm about to jump off this balcony, he going to save me because I'm just believing. I got the faith in the Most High. What is faith? What is true faith? If you could over me 1 Kings 18, and you could get for me Hebrews 11, verse 1. So we went over it many times. Chief Priest Yaradon has gone through faith several times, many a times. But what is true faith? What is true faith according to Scripture? Is it just blindly believing a thing? Just saying, you know what? I got the faith, man. I'm going to just go out and do it. That leap of faith. Is it that? Or what is it according to Scripture? Get it for me when you got it.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
All right, so let's break this down. Read it slow for me. Read it again.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for.
All right, so this faith is actual substance. What is substance? Substance is a tangible thing that you can touch. If I hope for this ram's horn and it just fly down, I now have the faith. It's tangible. I can touch it. I see it. I was hoping for it. He's letting you know faith is the substance, that tangible thing that you can touch, you can smell, you can see, you can taste it. He said that is what faith is. And it's the thing that you hope for. What else is it?
The evidence of things not seen.
It is the evidence of the thing that you hope for, that you could not see, that was still in the invisible realm. It is that evidence. When it comes to fruition, when it comes, like I said, I think the analogy was given that you can be walking in the desert, thirsty, just thirsting for water, just need some kind of hydration. And you like, Most High, it ain't a store in sight. Ain't no water in sight, Abba. I need some water. Please, Abba, you sent me on this journey. I need some water. Please, Abba. And then out of the mist, you see a water bottle just float down to Fiji water. And you like, whoa, Abba, I was hoping for that. And you gave it to me, Abba. This is that evidence of the thing that I could not see, and I needed it, Abba. All praise to the Most High. This is what true faith is. Faith is not just blindly believing in a thing. Look back to all of our ancestors. Look back at the times of Moses. One key component about Moses, which a lot of people don't bring out, what Scripture say, Moses was a man that wasn't of eloquent speaking. Moses had a stuttering issue. So surely Moses was like, me? I'm going to deliver my people out of here? Abba, surely you got to pick somebody else. Father, I can't even speak all the way clear. And Father, I'm not an eloquent man, Abba. He wasn't believing. He didn't just have just a blind belief in a thing. The Most High had to work with him. He said, hey, man, all right, I got you. I told you I'm going to be with you, man. I chose you. I chose you for this. What did he say? Stick your hand in your bosom. Now pull it out. Okay, it's leopard. It's white now. Now put it back in. And it changed back colors. He was giving him faith, letting him know the power in the Most High, letting him know, I am with you, son. I understand. I made you. I know your issues. I made you, but I got you. This is what true faith is. It is not just blindly believing a thing. It is okay to question a thing. Question it. The Scripture says, try that spirit by the Spirit. Brother, just coming to you saying, I got salvation, brother. What's your salvation at? As I said before, okay, where the baptism water at? Are we baptizing? No baptism? What about the anointing oil? We ain't anointing? Brother, what you doing? This is not salvation. I'm trying you, brother. There's no faith in this. I'm not just blindly believing a thing. Let's finish this up, verse 2.
For by it the elders obtained a good report.
So by this faith, the elders obtained a good report. They obtained a good report. This is adding to our salvation. This is leading down the paths to salvation, which we all want, that eternal rest. He says our elders obtained it. They got much faith. They were exercising the faith. They were always putting their hope forth. Father, we need this right now. We need this answer. They put it forth, and the Most High, in return, boom, bring it right back to him. Abba, all praise to the Most High. I asked for a thing, and you gave it to me. And by doing this, by being exercised in this, he said they obtained a good report. Let's read on, verse 3.
Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Abba, so that things which are seen were not made of the things that do appear.
All right, so through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word. Who is the word? What is the word? The word is Yahushua. Was there. So that things that are seen were not made of the things that do appear. They came from the invisible realm. The things that you could not see, the evidence of the invisible realm coming straight to you is the faith. The faith that we all need. This is the faith that we need for salvation. All right, so let's now transition over to a point of faith. Looking at some of our history in 1 Kings 18, these are the times of the kings, where we all know that many of them were defective. Many of the kings were going about to establish their own right way of doing the thing. And have forgotten the ways of the Most High. They were persuaded by these other nations to worship and serve their gods as opposed to the one true living God. And Elijah, at this time in 1 Kings, Elijah came back on a mission to convert the people. And he was trying to convert them by a point of faith. Let's go ahead and get that when you got it. 1 Kings 18, verse 17.
And it came to pass, when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, Art thou he that troublest Israel? And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou, and thy father's house, and that ye have forsaken the commandments of the Most High, and thou hast followed Balaam.
All right, so Elijah, a righteous man, coming to deliver his people from the hands of Ahab, this false prophet who was coming to teach contrary to what the Most High has put forth. He came to him, and Ahab said unto him, Art thou the one that troubleth Israel? And he looked at him and said, Bruh, you the one that's troubling Israel. What you talking about? You're the one that's doing that. And how did he do that? He said, in thy father's house, and that ye have forsaken the commandments. Remember, going back to what we went through earlier, he said, ye shall know these spirits, and you shall know them because they shall keep the commandments. He says, bruh, you ain't keeping commandments. I'm trying your spirit by the Spirit. I'm watching and seeing and looking at, brother, you ain't keeping the commandments. You have forsaken the commandments, and you have caused Israel to go astray because you have followed Balaam. Let's read on.
Verse 19. Now therefore sin, and gather to me all Israel to Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal 450, and the prophets of the groves 400, which eat at Jezebel's table.
All right, so now therefore send and gather me all Israel. Like I said before, he said, I'm coming back to convert my people. And I need you to gather them all unto Mount Carmel. And the prophets of Baal, gather all of them as well. We're going to have an intervention right here, is what Elijah was saying. We about to do a thing. And he says, and the prophets of the groves 400, which eat at Jezebel's table. Let's read on.
Verse 20. So Ahab sent unto all the children of Israel and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel.
So Ahab went and got them. Hey, come on, y'all. This man talking about he about to convert y'all. He about to do a thing. He about to show some points of faith. Let's go see what he talking about. Because we know that the true God is of Balaam. We know who our God is. And let's bring this to today's times. These would be the very people that's like, oh, we know the true living power is Jesus Christ. You're not going to tell us. The blood of the Lamb, brother. Bring it to today's times. These are the same types of people that we're dealing with, the same spirits, just a different name on it, just a different cloak over it. Let's read on.
Verse 21. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, How long halt ye between two opinions? If the Most High be Abba, follow him.
All right, so Elijah came unto all the people. So he brought all of those prophets that claim to be prophets. Like I said, bring it to today's times. Bring all your preachers up here. Bring all of them, every single last one of them. Bring them up here. All of you, stand right here. And then he asked them a question. He said, how long halt ye between two opinions? How long you going to have Christianity and you're going to have these over here talking about seven covenant and the truth and all these different things? How long ye are between these two opinions? What is it going to take to change this thing? It's going to take a point of faith. Let's matter of fact, read that verse again.
Verse 21. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, How long halt ye between two opinions? If the Most High be Abba, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word.
All right, so he came to him, brought them all to this one point and said, hey, all right, if your power is the one true living power and it can be proven, hey, so be it. But if I'm going to prove to you this day who the true living power is, then so be it. Let's read on.
Verse 22. Then said Elijah unto the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of the Most High. But Baal's prophets are 450 men.
So he said, I'm one by myself, a one-man army. And he said, but unto Baal there are 450 men. So the odds are against me, brethren. They're stacked against me. It ain't looking good for me. I'm just one man by myself. But what happened?
Verse 23. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And call ye on the name of your idols, and I will call on the name of the Most High.
All right, so look what he said. Elijah, a wise man, witty man, He knew what was up. He said, man, I'm not going to do no strange thing. I'm going to go ahead and give a sacrifice. I'm not just going to ask the Most High to, hey, Most High, turn all this water into a building and make it stand up and do over here like this and make all this sand grow in the grass. He said, you know what? We're going to give a sacrifice. And everybody was like, oh, we good. We cool with it. We know our power is the one true living power. And he said, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to set up a sacrifice. You get a bullock, you get what you're going to get, and put no fire under it. And what you're going to do is call upon your Abba, and he shall light that flame. And I'm going to call upon mine, and he shall light mine. Let's read it.
And I will call on the name of the Most High, and the Abba that answered by fire, let him be Abba. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken. And Elijah said unto the prophetess of Baal, choose you one bullock for yourselves, and dress it first, for ye are many. And call on the name of your idols, but put no fire under.
All right, once again, he's telling them, you get your one bullock. Get your bullock, place it on that altar that you done built, and put no fire under it. And I'm watching you, making sure ain't none of that, making sure you ain't put no fuel or no any kind of thing that's going to spark a fire under there. Go ahead and do what you got to do. And what happened?
Verse 26, and they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning until noon.
Look at that. So they put the bullock on the altar and were just calling out from morning until noon. Just calling out for hours. Nothing happening. It's just sitting there. Flies probably coming around it now. And they like, man, they looking at each other. Man, do y'all think it's real? Is it real? Man, let's just keep going, man. Let's keep going. We've been going for 6 hours straight. Let's just keep on going. Then what happened?
Saying, oh, Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped up the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, cry aloud, for he is an idol.
So Elijah, he looking back like, hey, y'all, I don't think y'all saying it loud enough. I think y'all need to add some instruments. Get the brothers right there to grab some instruments and play aloud to your Abba. He is the one true living power. Cry louder. Y'all ain't been doing it loud enough. I think that's the issue. Go ahead and read on.
Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure he sleepeth and must be awakened.
read that verse again.
Verse 27. And it came past the noon that Elijah mocked them and said, cry aloud, for he is an idol. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure he sleepeth and must be awakened.
So he's letting them know what's going on, y'all. I'm telling you, if y'all grab them drums back there and beat on them drums while y'all doing it, it may very well happen. I think that's what may happen. He's saying, or maybe your Abba need an alarm clock. Maybe we need to wake him up. Maybe that's what need to happen. Let's wake him up. Y'all want me to help y'all? Well, I ain't gonna help y'all, but I think that's what need to happen. I think your Abba is gone. I think matter of fact, he might have went on vacation. Y'all sure today is the day? He ain't going on vacation? Y'all positive? All right, let's read on and find out what happened.
Verse 28. And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lances, till the blood gushed out upon them.
Went absolutely crazy. They've been doing it for all day hours. And Elijah mocking them. Look at these stupid idiots. You calling upon your Jesus, the Lord and Savior. Look at you. I'm trying to show you a thing. And they start cutting themselves, blood gushing out. Begin to get mad in the mind, ill in the mind. And Elijah just sitting back like, brothers and sisters. Y'all only knew, if you only knew. That's how I read on.
Verse 29. And it came to pass, when midday was past, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice, nor any to answer, nor any that regarded.
So all day just passed. The whole day watch just passed by. And we now in the evening watch. He been sitting back. I can just imagine Elijah probably took a nap. Like, you know what? Y'all do what y'all do. I'm gonna go ahead and sit back, man. Take me a little nap. I know ain't nothing happening. I know I rest assured ain't nothing happening with y'all. Y'all beating a dead horse. It's nothing happening. Till it came to the time of the evening oblation. And what happened?
Verse 30. And Elijah said unto all the people, come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him. And he repaired the altar of the Most High that was broken down.
All right, so he's saying, all right, that's enough. Y'all been doing this for about 8 hours now. And time's up, all right? Can we rest assured that nothing's happening? Your Abba is not the one true living power. Can we all agree to that? Can we agree that nothing happened? That fire was supposed to come? Can we all agree to that? Surely, okay, cool. Now he began to prepare that altar. And he's going to do a thing now. Let's find out what he did.
Verse 31. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Most High came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of the Most High. And he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, fill 4 barrels with water.
Look at that. So he done built the altar, did all these things. And remember, he said, this is what we're going to do. Y'all going to build your altar, pick your bullock, and do not light a fire, and let your Abba light your fire. So look what he said. He said, I done built my altar now. All y'all come around. I want everybody to look. Make sure everybody can. Everybody get up here and look. I built this altar. And what I want you to do now, I wanted to light on fire, but pour water on it. So I don't want no doubt. I don't want y'all looking at me like, hey, man, you had a match in there, and I seen a magnifying glass in your pocket, man. You cheated. He like, nah, pour water in there. Let's read on.
Fill 4 barrels with water and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood.
He said pour it on the sacrifice and on the wood. So the wood's just saturated with water now. And if you know anything about lighting fire, you know you ain't lighting no piece of wood that got water in it. So he like, go ahead, pour some more on there. Matter of fact, get it all over there. Yeah, that right there too. Fill that up. And what else did he do?
Verse 34. And he said, do it the second time.
Do it the second time. I just want to make sure there's no doubt. Go ahead, do it again. Fill it up a second time. Let's read on.
And they did it the second time. And he said, do it the third time.
2 ain't enough. 3 times. Do it 3 times. Yes, 3 times shall suffice. Let's read on.
And they did it the third time. And the water ran about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. Verse 36. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice.
All right, so at this time, you can just imagine water just overflowing now. And they probably looking at him like every eye is glued on it. Like, man, if fire come on this is going to be something right here. Everybody just glued onto it. Like you watching something that's going on TV. And you like, man, I can't wait to see what's about to happen. I know ain't no fire about to come off. Look, water's spilling over right now. And he said it came to the time of the evening sacrifice. And what happened?
That Elijah the prophet came near and said, Most High Abba of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art Abba in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word.
Look what he said. I'm calling upon the Abba of Isaac, Jacob, and of Israel. I know you are the one true living power, and I'm calling on you so you show all these people. You are the one true living power, and I am thy servant. I'm humble. I'm walking in humility. And I want you to show all of them, give them a point of faith so that they may know exactly who you are. Let's read on.
Verse 37. Hear me, O Most High, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the Most High Abba, and that thou hast turnest their heart back again. Verse 38. Then the fire of the Most High fell.
Look at that. I mean, water overflowing of the temple. He said he poured it down in the trench everywhere. Read that again.
Then the fire of the Most High fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice and the wood and the stones and the dust and licked up the water that was in the trench.
Look at that. That whirlwind of fire came down mightily. Licked up everything. He poured water 3 times. Poured it everywhere, all over the sacrifice. Everything got taken up. And what happened?
Verse 39. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces.
Everybody looking, oh, my. That is the one true living power. That's all it took was that point of faith to say, that's the one true living power right there. Ain't no other way, brother. You talking about Christianity, forget all that. Forget all, I don't care if I was in it 25 years. A pastor might say that. Like I said, bring it to today's time. You got 25 pastors making $1 million a month. They're going to be like, damn that million. I don't care. Forget it. I don't want it no more. I seen what I seen right here, and that is the one true living power. All praise to the Most High that I seen this. Without this, I would have been lost. I would have been gone. I would have been believing in Baal. All praise to the Most High. Let's read that again, verse 39.
And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, the Most High, he is the Abba. The Most High, he is the Abba. And Elijah said unto them, take the prophets of Baal, let not one of them escape. And they took them. And Elijah brought them down to the brook Kishon and slew them there.
Look at that. So as we've been bringing out earlier, remember it said, take heed that ye be not deceived. Let ye be not like the children of Israel in this time that were deceived by the prophets of Baal. He said, take each and every last one of them. Each and every last one of them, because they believed it to the death. They were not converted, and they converted you to do a thing that was contrary to your true salvation. Take all of them and slew them. He said, take heed that ye be not deceived. And these are the things that allow us to come up out of that deception, these points of faith. When the Most High show you a thing that comes from the invisible realm, what we went through faith is that substance of the thing that you hope for. You may hope for that salvation. You hope for all of these things, and when you receive it, nothing turns you away from it. Look what happened to all these people. Like I said, bring it to today's times. Just imagine if it was a whole group of Islam, Muslim, all these different people, all these different nations, and they believe wholeheartedly what they believed in. Christianity, Hebrew camps, no matter what. And they seen that sacrifice go down, and that fire, that whirlwind of fire, surely what I've been into is nothing. I've been in the wrong thing for years. I don't care nothing about it anymore. I am converted. That's all it took was this one point of faith to be converted. All right, we're gonna go ahead and transition and start ending this class. If you could get for me, Porter Shamar, Ephesians 6, and we'll start at the 10th verse. And if you could hold for me 1 Peter 1:13, and also 2 Maccabees 6 and 18. So, as we've been going through the class, the disciples started and asked the question, what is the sign of thy coming? And how shall we know when the end of the world is? And when it comes, how can we be a part of the ones that are saved? How shall we endure unto the end? And which we went through today, the Most High clearly told us, take heed. And as we went through earlier, I wanted to make sure I made that point. So each and every one of us can walk in humility, knowing that angels were deceived out of heaven. The very angels that were dwelling in angelic bodies were deceived. Yes. And now we have these points of faith. We know faith, we shall live by faith to faith. We shall be exercised in the faith, and ye shall be given the Most High faith. Remember Christ said, when I come back, shall I find faith on the earth? Shall I find you doing these sacrifices? Shall I find you getting rid of sin? Shall I find it? These are the things that lead to salvation. Sticking strong, trying the spirits, by the Spirit, walking these 7 pillars, keeping your covenant. And most of all, gaining your faith. Your faith is everything in this. All right, let's get that. Ephesians 6. Now start at the 10th verse.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Most High and in the power of his might.
So he's telling us now, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Most High and the power of his might. Be strong in it. Go ahead and read on.
Put the whole armor of Abba. Put on the whole armor of Abba, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
All right, so once again, we got to understand what we're up against and understand that the road that we're all walking down is leading to salvation. And we got to know how to stay on that road. It's going to be many stops on the way that's persuading you to go off and go astray. But he said, put on that whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Let's read on.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities.
So, as we brought out in Revelations 12 and 9, the principalities, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. These principalities are those Satans, the ones that are beginning to lose their strength because of the falling away, because sin has been revealed. As we went through in 2 Thessalonians, that man of sin is now revealed. that sit in the court of the Most High and accuse each and every one of us day and night, never letting up, all day, every hour. I'm accusing this person. I don't care what they did. They may not have known they trespassed, but I'm accusing them in hopes that we're not atoning for it. But those under the seventh covenant know I got to atone every single day. Let's read on.
But against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Once again, the spiritual wickedness in high places are the Satans accusing each and every one of us day and night, causing sin to rule in us, causing us to go astray. And to add to that, it is working in the minds of these men who are persuasive, who appear to have this grand look and this grandstand, and they persuade men and women, but upon millions, to come and walk this way. Remember, Christ said there should be many that should come and say, I am the Christ. I have salvation. I have salvation. And it's been going on. We just read in 1 Kings. Look what was going on. They said the prophets of Baal teaching them, I am the Christ. I have the way to salvation. But when it was put to the test, what did Elijah come and do? He tried the spirit by the spirit. Let's get a sacrifice up and let's see if your God come down with that whirlwind of fire. Let's read on.
Verse 13. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of Abba, that ye be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand.
All right, so this is essentially letting us know this is the reason for the Proverbs. This is why the Most High has given us these tools, this weaponry, this armament to walk 7 pillars. It's not just to say we know 7 pillars or just for the children to say, hey, we 7 pillars, knowledge, understanding. It is for us as well, adults, grown-ups, to walk these 7 pillars each and every day. Because the Most High said, this is how you shall stand in that evil day. As I said, we're walking on the journey, and it's going to be many things that's coming, throwing darts at you, trying to get you to walk over here. We got to stay on that straight and narrow path. Let's read on.
Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth.
All right, so this is our first piece of armor. He says, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth. What is he talking about? Let's get that in 1 Peter 1 and 13.
Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind.
He says, gird the loins of your mind. So this is what we're talking about. Going back to Ephesians, he says, stand therefore having your loins girt about with truth. And in 1 Peter, he said, wherefore gird up the loins of your mind. What are your loins? Your loins are your reproductive organs. And not to get into it, keep it PG, your loins produce seed. So he's saying, gird the womb of your mind. And he says, go ahead and read on in 1 Peter.
Be sober and hope to the end of the grace that it be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahweh Shai, the Messiah.
All right, so he's telling us, gird the loins of your mind. Gird that womb. Don't let just any seed be planted in there. This is what your loin produces. So he's saying, have your loins girt about with truth. Now going back to Ephesians, having your loins girt about with truth, you want to make sure you're shielding that thing. Make sure you're filtering your womb. That is your mind. And he's telling you, there's seeds that shall go in, but you got to be there to gird it with truth. There may be seeds that come in and say, hey, man, don't you want to just do something on the Shabbat? It's Friday. Your cousin having a cookout. Don't you want to go be a part of that? Surely you want to be a part of that. Or don't you want to go out and smoke this weed? Don't you want to go out and do this? Surely you want to do that. We got to be those girding the loins of our mind. Even if it be social media, TV, these stupid TV shows that they just push into us. We have to be the ones that say, you know what? Today I'm not watching it. I'm going to gird the loins of my mind. I got to watch these seeds that are coming into my mind because they plant. And if I ain't there to rip it out, it's just going to take up space. Space that I need for wisdom to come through, to bring forth these dark mysteries and these deep sayings and all these different things so I stay on that straight and narrow path. We have to gird the loins of our mind and be sober. It's not talking about just don't drink alcohol. He's saying be sober in spirit, making sure you're not tossed to and fro, making sure you're abstaining from certain things, this is how you gird your mind with truth. All right, let's go back to Ephesians and read verse 14 again.
Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness.
All right, so we have our next piece of armament. He says, having on the breastplate of righteousness. So a breastplate will cover your extremities. If anything go through your extremities, these is where all your vital organs are. So he's letting you know, gird up your vital organs. If any blow go there, that's quick death right there. That's death in an instant. So he's saying, take on that breastplate of always doing the right thing. This is what righteousness is. And it's not just doing right one time. I'm going to not cuss this person out this time. But next time, I'm cussing them out and I might put hands on them. He's telling you, put on the breastplate of righteousness that you always attend to life. Be close with the Most High. He says always have it on, that you're always doing righteousness. Let's read on.
15. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
So he's saying having your feet shod in the preparation of the gospel of peace. Having your feet cemented in the seventh covenant. This gospel of peace is the gospel of the seventh covenant of David. He's saying always having your feet firmly planted in it. Always are doing with that gospel of peace. Every which way you walk, you understanding and knowing. I'm making sure I'm atoning for my trespasses. I'm walking 7 pillars. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm walking in this gospel of peace. I'm sure in it, cemented in it. And it can be like, just imagine, the world they wearing the J's and the Nikes and all these different things. And the Most High like, take these right here. You're going to need these. And everybody else like, look at them. What are those? And he looking like, bro, I need these right here. We on this narrow path. It's rocky, man. It's going to get bumpy. And while you got your little cute J's on, brother, I'm in this gospel of peace. I'm firm. I'm cemented in these. I'm not going astray. I know which way I'm walking, and I know what's coming up. You're gonna be walking in them J's, and they're gonna get tore up on this mountainside. It's gonna be all kind of cliffs and rocks. It's not gonna be sustainable, brother. And this is the same thing when we look at our covenant. Each and every one of us has to carry our burden, carry our load, carry our duties out. Like I said, there's many gifts that the Most High has given out. What are you gonna do with yours? You gonna do good with the little that's given to you, so he can bless you with great? These are the things that pertain to salvation. Let's read on.
16. Above all, taking the shield of faith.
All right, so we already went through it. We know what faith is now. Faith is the substance of the thing that you hope for, the evidence of the thing that you could not see. You prayed unto the Most High for a certain thing that you may have needed, and that was beneficial to your walk. He says, take that shield now. You take your shield, understanding and knowing nothing shall come in and penetrate. Just as we look at the prophets of Baal. They came in and penetrated the people because they had not the shield of faith. Had they had the shield of faith, it was no need for Elijah to come and give that sacrifice and do that point of faith. But once he did it, we all seen it. They was like, he is the Most High Abba. He is. We confess it. Surely he is. We've never seen power like that. Now they have the shield of faith, able to withstand everything, having on a breastplate of righteousness. Let's read on.
Wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked.
Look what I said. I'll keep using this analogy. We're walking on this path. And on this path, you got enemies to the left, enemies to the right. And they throwing everything at you. But you have to be the one girded up. Having your mind girded with truth. Gospel feet prepped in the gospel of peace. Taking that shield of faith, blocking everything on your walk. Like, I'm not moving from this walk. Nothing is going to cause me to go astray. I don't care what it is. Let's read on.
And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Abba.
All right, read 17 again.
And take the helmet of salvation.
All right, so we have another piece. Taking the helmet of salvation. What we all leading to. The helmet is dealing with your chamber of imagery. So you having in your chamber of imagery at all times, no matter what, I am looking for this salvation. I am walking this walk for a reason. I'm not walking this walk to just keep going in circles. I'm walking this narrow path. I'm enduring through all these different things. I'm not doing it for no reason. I'm doing it for a reward at the end of it. There's a great reward at the end of it. And this is taking that helmet of salvation, always having in your mind, no matter what tribulation you go through, no matter what low you go through, it's always in the back of your mind, I'm looking for salvation. It's maybe hard right now. I'm going through a drought, but I have on my helmet of salvation. And let's get that in 2 Maccabees 6 and 18. And I just want to bring this point out, and this is with one of our ancestors, Eleazar. At this point in time, they were calling him to come up and eat of the pork, eat of the swine. So, and let's see how he answered this. Let's see if he had on his helmet of salvation. Let's go ahead and read that.
Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh.
So, not to go to it, but we know in Deuteronomy, Leviticus, the Most High told us, do not eat swine. And if you do, it is an abomination unto you. And what did the Most High say in Deuteronomy 28:15? If thou wilt not hearken to do all the things that I tell you to do, thou shalt be cursed. So Eleazar, knowing this, said, man, surely I'm not eating this. And he said, constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. But what did Eleazar do? Let's read on.
Verse 19, but he, choosing rather to die gloriously.
To die. How many of us can say, I ain't eating that pork. Oh, you kill me right now. I'm not eating it. Most of our brothers and sisters eat this stuff willingly, openly. Just like, I'm good. Yeah, I eat pork. What you talking about? I grew up on pork. What you talking? Let's read on.
Than to live stained with such an abomination.
So I'd rather die than to eat that and to live stained. Look what it said in the beginning. He said a principal scribe, an aged man. He was well in his age. He was known amongst the Israelites, known amongst his people. Man, that Eleazar is on point. I'm looking to get on his level one day. I'm looking to get on that high level. That brother's always walking 7 pillars, always in the truth, always on that righteousness. I'm looking to get to that high level. And he said, had I have done this, I'm going to leave a stain on my life. All these things that I've done. I've been walking on this path for all these years, enduring so much. And for me to just, in my old age, partake in this, man, I'd rather die. I'd rather die. Damn with that. To hell with that. I'm not losing out on my salvation. Let's read on.
Spit it forth, and came of his own accord to the torment.
Look at that. He said, I'm not eating it. I'd rather die. And he just said, you know what? Where the torment at? Are you chopping heads off today? Go ahead. Get the chopping right here. Go ahead, put it on my neck, because I'm not losing my salvation. Go ahead and do what you got to do, bro. Let's read on.
Verse 20. As it behoves them to come, that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. But they that had charge of the wicked feast, for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision.
So look at this. So just imagine, right? The king at this time just got Eleazar, just got him on stage, and they know he's a principal. He's an aged man. He's well known amongst the people. So surely if we can get him to eat this pork, then we can convince all of them to eat this pork. And it was all for a purpose. It was all because of Deuteronomy. They know the scriptures just like we know the scriptures. They knew if we get them to trespass against what the Most High told them not to do, then we can get up high above them and they shall come down very low. That's the curse that we're trying to enact. So if we can get him to do it, surely we can persuade everybody else to do it. And then look what they said. But they that had charge of this wicked feast for the old acquaintance, so they knew Eleazar. It wasn't of the same lineage, but they said, man, we know, bro, that's our brother right there, man. That's old Eleazar, man. We love the brother, man. We done spent all this time with him. We actually love the brother. And they came to him and said, look, man, they're going to kill you. They are going to kill you if you don't eat this pork. So look, this is what I'm going to do, Eleazar. This is what I'm going to do for you, my mans. I'm going to give you this beef right here. And just act like it's pork. Just act like it's pork. And eat that. Please just eat it, man. I'm telling you. They're going to kill you. Ain't nothing I can do after that. I can give you this, but there's nothing I can do after that. Let's read on.
Such as was lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat it, of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king.
So like I said, such as was lawful for him to use. We know beef is lawful for us. We know chicken is. So whatever they gave him, they like, Eleazar, I'm telling you, man, they're going to kill you. please just eat this beef, man. Eat this chicken. Just act like it's pork. That's all you got to do. Look, we'll put it on the sandwich. Nobody know the difference. And you can keep your life. What did Eleazar say?
Verse 22. That in so doing he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor.
Say like, Eleazar, I'm telling you, if you do this, it's gonna be great, man. I'm telling you, they said they're gonna give you they're gonna give you some money for this. They're gonna give you this, and your new ride. You're gonna have all of this stuff, man. We love you, brother, and you shall be delivered from that death. What did Eleazar respond with?
Verse 23. But he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age, and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head.
So look at this. He began to consider discreetly. He thought to himself, I've been walking this walk for many a years. I endured so much. I've been keeping covenant all this time. All of this time I've been keeping it. He said, in the excellency of ancient years. I got gray hair now, man. Should I do this? And what did he think? What did he conclude?
Whereon was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by Abba. Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straight ways to send him to the grave.
Look at that. He thought within himself, brother, I've been walking this for a long time now, and I just thought about it. I've been on this straight and narrow. I've endured so much, brother. To hell with your pork. Matter of fact, I'm going to knock it off this table if you don't get it away from me. So you better get to killing me, because I'm not eating your pork. All of these things that I went through was for the Abba's sake. I'm not wearying what I'm doing for Abba. I know at the end of this road is salvation. The resurrection is not up yet, and I understand it. I know what time I'm in. But I know if I partake in this, I'm going to put a stain on my life, and I cannot bear that. I've been walking this walk for a long time, brother. Ain't no persuading me out of this. I have my shield of faith, my helmet of salvation. Let's read on.
Verse 24. For it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10, were now gone to a strange religion.
Look at that. He is taking in consideration the young men and women that are looking up to him. Looking at them like, man, if I do this, they're going to be looking at me like, damn, Eleazar ate of it? Even though he's not eating of it. They like trying to give him chicken or beef. He like, surely I can't do that. I'm going to leave a stain on my people. I know surely I'm going to live. I'm going to have all this money. I'm going to want to kill myself. All my young brothers and sisters looking at me, they look up to me. They know what it is. They know I stand for righteousness. I'm standing firm for this righteousness. And if I partake in this, they're going to look at me and say, damn, all that time he put in, man, and he came to it. That's causing them to lose hope. They look at it like, man, if they can get him, surely they can get me. There ain't no chance for me. Let's go ahead and read on.
Verse 25. And so they, through my hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer, should be deceived by me.
Look at that. Well, we've been going through this entire class. They shall be deceived by me. That's why the Most High said, take heed. Look at this deception. Them coming and using one of our own to deceive the people. Like, yo, he's a principal man, a scribe, an aged man. Let's use him. Let's make him eat the pork. And he don't even really have to eat pork. He can eat the chicken and act like it's pork. And we shall deceive. He said, lest I do this through mine hypocrisy and desire to just to live a little bit longer. I'm an old man. I may not even live. I ain't got much time left. I may eat this pork and get all of this stuff and just die within the next hour. Most High, like, man, you done went through all this. Go ahead and drop dead. You don't eat that pork and act like you ate the pork. He says, just to live a moment longer should be deceived by me. I shall deceive my people if I do this. And he says, and I get us. Go ahead and read on.
And I get a stain to mine old age and make it abominable.
Look at that. I'm going to get a stain to this long walk I've been walking. I have this is Eleazar showing us. I got my helmet of salvation on. I'm looking for salvation. I'm walking my walk. I'm not going this way. And I got but a short time. I'm not leaving a stain on my walk. Everything been checked out on my wall. Go check my track record, brother. This is what he's telling them. Go check my track record. I've been squared away my entire life. Ain't no way I'm walking out of this. I'm not leaving a stain on my life. Let's read on.
Verse 26. For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, Yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead.
Look at that. Neither alive nor dead. He said, I shall not escape the punishment of the Most High. Understanding the power of the Most High. Say, I might live a little bit longer with you guys, but y'all might give me some riches and all of that. But the Most High coming. Abba coming. He said he got a mighty belt, and I ain't trying to feel no parts of that. He said, I know he's coming with it. Neither alive nor dead. So I can do this, and I can feel so bad I go kill myself. The Most High still gonna come and punish me. I ain't escaping it. I'm not escaping it. Let's read on.
Verse 27. Wherefore now, manfully changing this life, I will show myself such as one as my age requires.
Look at that. I'm going to stand up like I'm supposed to. I've been walking this walk, like I said, my entire life. I'm going to stand up like a strong man that I am. I've been walking with the Most High. I'm not giving it up now. I'm going to stand up as my age require me. As my walk require me. As my people are looking at me, they looking at me to say, to hell with that pork. Knowing that Eleazar for sure not falling for that. So let me do exactly what's required of me. Let's read on.
Verse 28. And leave a notable example to such as be young to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws. And when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment.
Look at that. They like just trying to convince him, Eleazar, come on, man, just do this thing. They're going to put you to death. He said, hell no. And he said, it left a notable example to such as be young to die willingly. I don't care what it is. Who's willing to die for not eating pork? They come in here right now, 200 strong, military, like, y'all better eat this pork or we're going to put this in a hot slug in you. Who can do it? You out there in the world, who can do it? Are you willing to die manfully for this? This brother stood up and said, you absolutely right. I ain't got but a short time in this life anyway. Go ahead. And they said immediately after he did this, he ain't falling for it. Put him in the torment. Go on off with him. He's not falling for it. This is a notable example. This is this brother walking with the helmet of salvation, having on all the armor of the Most High, knowing what true salvation is. He said, whether I'm alive or dead, the Most High coming back for me. And it's not going to be pretty. So let me do what I need to do. All right, let's get back to this Ephesians 6.
I got two verses for you.
All right, what you got?
That Luke 17:33, whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. And also in Ezekiel 18:24. But when the righteous turn away from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and doeth according to all the abominations that the wicked doeth, shall he live. All his righteousness that he have done shall not be mentioned. In his trespass that which he have trespassed, and in his sin that he have sinned, in them shall he die.
Right on point. Right on point. So we seeing you can walk this walk, but you have to walk it to the end of the road. Walk this straight and narrow. He said, be not weary in doing well unto the Most High. Have that helmet of salvation on, knowing the end journey. That's a great reward for me. So let me not, as he just brought out, as Porter Shamar brought out, let me not let all this work I put in just be all for naught. Let it not be. And as I mentioned earlier, David in Psalm 73, he said, man, I'm washing my hands every day in innocency, and I'm just getting played. I'm getting hit up every single day. And I just can't bear it. I'm looking at the wicked. They're proliferating. They're growing. They're advancing in the world. But look at little old me. I'm just over here giving these sacrifices. And then the Most High showed them their latter end. Showed them, said, oh, wow, that's death and destruction in that. Surely I don't want to be a partaker of that. Thank you, Abba. All praise to the Most High for giving me that point of faith. Right on point, my brother. Let's get back to that Ephesians. We're going to close this class down.
Which verse you want?
Pick it up at 18.
Praying always with all prayer.
Matter of fact, my bad, 17.
And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Abba.
All right, so we have our last piece of armament. And every piece up until then has been defensive. You got the helmet of salvation, your feet, your loins girded about with truth, the breastplate of righteousness. It's all been about defense, deflecting, being able to withstand these wiles of the devil. So now in the 17th verse, we now have a piece of an offensive a piece of offense, which is the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. Remember, we're not going to go into it, but the word of the Most High is Yahushua. He said, a mighty man called the Word who leaped down from heaven to avenge us. This is that sword, and this is how we shall use it. Let's go ahead and read on.
Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
All right, so praying always with all prayer and supplication, coming unto the Most High. This is how you are exercising the faith. Praying always with all prayer, making your supplications unto the Most High. Putting your hope forth. Abba, give me strength in this time. Abba, I'm in a lot of Yehoiarib. Abba, I need defense right now. My mind is being plagued. My job is talking about I got to take this vaccine. I'm fired. Abba, I don't know what I'm going to do for money. So I'm going into the ninth. I'm going into Yeshua. Always praying, making my supplication known unto the Most High. And then he saved me out of that thing. He give me something where I'm working. I got my own business now. I'm making more money than I ever made. And then I'm able to get the work in of the Most High. He's saying pray always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit and in truth. He says watching thereunto, watchful in the watches. Go ahead and read on.
And for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mysteries of the gospel.
So this is Paul speaking. He's saying in the 18th verse, pray always with prayer and supplication. Ask for these things. And when you come in the Spirit, he said, come and do a thing. He says, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance. He says, and come for me. Come and ask for me. And what is he going to do? Read 19 again.
That utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly.
So he's saying when you come in the Spirit, when you're in your supplication and prayer, you're watchful, come up hither. And when you come up hither, look for me. I know you're going to be seeing all the prophets, all the ancestors, the elders. I know you're going to be seeing them. But come and talk to me. He says that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly. Yeah. So it's not going to be in a mystery. It's not going to be what thou art, wilt thou do, and this, it's going to be, let me speak to you plainly, brother. And exactly this amount of time, this is going to happen. America's going to fall at this time. I'm not saying that, but giving it as an example, I'm going to give you utterance that things may be revealed unto you that shall be beneficial to your walk. So as you're walking this walk, come up hither, and I'm going to give you things while you're on that journey. I'm going to let you know 2 miles up ahead, you're going to have two people, you're going to have two armies, one to the left, one to the right. And they got something they're going to shoot at you. And I'm letting you know exactly what it is. I'm going to speak boldly unto you so that you may not go out of the way. Let's read on.
To make known the mysteries of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in bonds.
So he says, I'm an ambassador in bonds. So I am like the spokesman, but I'm in bonds. What makes him in bonds? The thing that makes him in bonds is he has no more physical body. That's why he's telling us to come up hither, come in the Spirit. I can speak to you, but you got to know the way. You ain't going to do it by carnal means. You got to come up hither in the Spirit. He says, I'll give utterance unto you. I'll speak all these mysteries, and you can take it back down there. That's why he's saying, I am an ambassador in bonds. I can't come down to the physical realm anymore. If I could, man, I'll come kick it with you all night. We'll go through all these deep mysteries. I'll break all of that down to you. But for this moment, I need you to come up hither, and I shall be your ambassador. I shall speak these great mysteries unto you. Let's read on.
That therein I may speak boldly as I ought to speak.
I may speak boldly unto you. I don't have to put it in mystery anymore. I can tell you these things. And it ain't no phone tap, no any kind of surveillance that any of these people can put on us. They cannot go to the spirit realm. They cannot go with us. They can tap our phones, and they probably got to tap now. They're watching us now. There's no way you can tap into that when you're going up in the Spirit. And all these deep mysteries are given to us. Paul said, I'm going to speak boldly unto you. Let's read on.
But that they may also know my affairs, how I do, Tychicus, a beloved brother and faithful minister of the Most High, shall make known to you all things, whom I have sent unto you for the same purpose, that ye may know our affairs, and that ye may be comfort, that he might comfort your hearts.
Look at that. Whom I have sent unto you for the same purpose. As I keep mentioning, we're on this long journey. We got all these things now to understand and know. Most High told us, take heed. There's going to be many things out there to deceive you. And take on that whole armor of the Most High. And when you do, make sure you're always in prayer, coming up hither in spirit and in truth. And I shall give you things that shall comfort your hearts, that shall comfort your mind. You're going to come up, he's telling you, it's 2 miles up ahead. You're going to come through some hardship. But I'm going to give you everything you need to get through it. All you have to do is just endure through. I'm going to give you all the shielding you need, all the defense you need. Go in your rib. Matter of fact, I'm prescribing to you. Go in your rib every day this week. You got a hard battle coming up. He said, I'm going to send comfort to your hearts, which is your mind. Let's read on.
Peace be to the brethren, and love with faith, for Abba the Father, and the Most High, and the Lord Yahushua. Grace be with all them that love Yahushua in sincerity. Amen.
All right. So we're going to close the class down now with this. So as I always say, I hope everyone was edified. So really examine yourself. Really look at yourself. As we've been mentioning throughout the entire class, take heed and be not deceived. Take on that whole armor. Understand what true salvation is. Salvation is you coming into the seventh covenant, doing and keeping the commandments. And if any be not, he said, try the spirit by the spirit, so that you may know who is of Abba. Are you telling me the truth? Let me try it, and let me get the faith on it, as we went through earlier. Faith is vital to our walk. Faith is vital to our walk. Faith is that motivating factor that keep you on that journey. Otherwise, you'll just walk off like, it's too hard, man. It's all narrow. I got to have these ugly shoes on. It's narrow. I'm hungry. I got this. Brothers and sisters, know what true salvation is. Try these spirits by the Spirit. If it ain't seventh covenant, you baptized in anointing, getting rid of sin, it is not of the truth. It is not of true salvation. So I hope each and every one of us can glean this information and grab hold to it. Don't just take this as a class to just go back and play and have it playing in the background. Really take heed to it and read it for yourself. Believe me not, but go read and reassure yourself. Reprove it. Make sure it's of the Spirit. Try me by the Spirit and see that this is true salvation. All right, with that, we're going to close the class down. I'll say peace, blessings, shalom.
He who hath ears to hear, listen carefully as we speak virtue, reaching the world through the efforts of the priests, repairers of the breach, restorers of the paths, rebuilding the tents of David. Our home is found at last at the tabernacle of congregation, where we baptize and anoint our nation, performing oblations upon the brazen altar, walking in the ways of the appointed Savior with poise, escaping the noise from Satan and his poisonous nature. Without fail, he accuses the brethren, using his weapons of collusion, and then sin comes upon us. And we deserve it, to be honest. We were cursed, cause we honored and were worshiping the gods of this world and was living lawless. At first to the written law, without purpose and little knowledge, serving our wicked conscience. Thus, righteous judgment was handed down from the courts of the Most High. A sobering moment, but let's be holy and pure while we endure and ensure life comes forth. Let us hold tight, secure in our roles as we strive, adorned with our robes white and clean. It might seem like the loneliest road, but we stride in hope as the Most High reveals his ideals. And so we exercise patience as well as love, dwelling safe in the seventh covenant, graciously sent us sustenance. Let us exemplify faith through hell and suffering, praying to quell the punishment, waiting on heaven's government to be established, as it was in the Garden of Eden, when Abba had breathed life into creation, and our forefather received the living word. No more are we called prisoners, we live and learn, and study study to be approved as the sons of Yahweh, who were lovingly given rules to better build and preserve truth. The bricks surrounding the kingdom are the 7 pillars of virtue. This is a house of wisdom. Shalom.